Shut the soldering iron off. I'll zoom in for you guys so you guys can see. Oh. Even the magnifying glass is hot. So if I zoom back, come on camera, focus. So I got a globby. It's held. Now, I made a huge mistake. I didn't put the heat shrink on. Unfortunately, one side of the wire is open still, so I can slide it on there. So remember to put your heat shrink on before you solder. I guess I forgot that step. So let's go ahead and do that. So I got the end of the wire here. I'm just going to throw the heat shrink on. And then we're going to put this over top of that wiring. And then I'm going to have to vacuum up all this solder that came off. Some copper and crap. So you guys remember what I gotta do. I'll zoom the camera in and I'll light up a candle. And then move the candle in place a little bit. And then I just want to slowly move the heat shrink back and forth over the candle. Not burning it. And there we go. Ooh, still warm. So those are now sealed, both wires extended. And now I can get on to the other part, which is the, basically, get on to the other part, which is going to be me cleaning up this mess and then going ahead and putting the terminals on. Not this one, that's too big, that we found out, but those other ones that I picked out, which I moved over here. So there you go. So I got quite a bit of solder left. My first one was beginner's luck. I automatically knew what to do. Second one I struggled with quite a bit. So there you go. Whatever. So we need one of these thinner connectors that I have to remount still just to fit onto that switch right here. So I gotta ream that out a little bit with a drill. That way it will make its connection here and we won't have a bunch of crap to deal with. It's gonna be very tight on there. Let me see, is this the size? I could probably use this size. It goes right through easily, but I'll just kind of angle the drill so it, you know, burrs out the insides, because this one will do it, but I'm afraid it might do it a little too well. Hard to say. I'll try the smaller one. I'll try the smaller one and then see what happens. Now this is gonna be tough because I'm holding it with my hand. So and I'm just angling the drill, or not the drill, but the piece, just so it shaves off a little bit, so I don't take off too much for this connection to happen. See, it's almost started right there. You can see that. That's almost right there. So if I give it a little bit more, we should be good. Put the drill up to speed. Just chewing a little material off, enough so we get a nice friggin' fit down on the threads here. It needs a little tad more. I'm just doing incremental. Wait a minute. Yeah, it still needs a little bit more. I can almost screw it down the threads, which is pretty good. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, let's try that again. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is the size bolt for this switch that I need to use. It's the only switch I really have. I could run it through a PWM controller, but I could have done that. But I have these switches, so might as well use them. See, I can almost crank this beast all the way down. I don't want to strip the threads though. So I gotta keep doing this a little bit more at a time. Okay, that is a smoother thread all the way down. That's nice. So that's, I got to do that one more time for this side. So I need one more of these connectors, and we'll go from there, guys. We'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so I had a little oopsie happen. This little piece here is broken through. So I'm going to try to use it anyway. So I'm going to put that wire in there, the positive one. And hopefully I'm on the right setting. We hope. I'm not. So try that one. There we go. Still not quite there. That is no good. I need something thin, thin, thin to make this work, and I think that's the thinnest thinnest blade I got. Well, that one's pooched. No good. I'll have to figure something else out, guys. Hold on. Okay, guys. I was able to salvage that last terminal, and just to double up on safety, I'm going to use some red electrical tape. Trusty tape. So I'm just gonna make sure this bad boy is locked in place heavily so it does not move anywhere. So there we go. Now I can put him down on one side of the switch, and then with the nut we'll tighten that down, and that will lock that guy in place. I'll just have to grab a pair of channel locks. Now I got to do it so it faces down this way, so when I mount it on the wall, we're not going to have issues. Whoops, wasn't down all the way. There we go. So I just got to tighten that bolt up tight, and then run another wire. Hopefully this time I don't break through this other terminal, and we'll run that over to one of the battery terminals on my off-grid solar just over here, and that way the pump will be on a switch rather than those damn clamps. So I'll get working on this and I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty guys, so I was able to get that next piece done. I'm just going to strip off a small piece of positive red wire so I can use for this side of the world. And then the other thing I got to figure out is what do I need to clamp onto, and what size do I need to clamp onto the power pack over here for the solar. But the nice thing is I'll be able to do that anytime, because I don't have any water to test this thing with, and you don't want to run your pump on nothing, on air, because then the amps just go up and you'll burn your pump out. But I'm just getting it set up so when I do mount this switch, everything's going to be nice and smooth. There we go. So all I got to do now is put this in this guy here, and I think what I got to do is do one of these numbers where it curves a little bit, so when we clamp down, it will lock this puppy in place. I got to adjust this back over to red. I think that's the size there. It's close. Adjust it down a little bit more. Hopefully. There we go. She's locked in. Now I'm going to tape this guy as well. And then we'll figure out the terminal for this side that will hook onto the battery, of course. So we'll go from there. But that'll be later on, I think, because I don't want to hook it up to the battery just yet, because we're gonna have some things changing around in the tiny house once I relocate solar panels and stuff like that. But at least I can put this guy on, put the bolt on, and lock everything in place, and then this guy will at least be ready to roll when the time comes. Now, I don't know where that other nut went for this project. I don't know. Oh, it's up here. Perfect. So this will just be awesome now that I have a switch for my pump. And it's kind of an overkill switch, but it's a lot better than clamps, guys. You want to run around with clamps in your hands, or do you just want to throw a switch? Right? A lot quicker, safer, faster, I think. Now I'll have to get an adjustable to tighten these down, but other than that, this switch is good to go. On, off. There we go. Cool stuff. And you gotta kind of position the wires both facing one direction, because there's only one hole at the bottom for the mount for the wall. So that's what you gotta kind of do. So no big deal there. And that way they're ready to roll. So I'll get back to you in a bit. Alright, so here we go, guys. There's the 12-volt pump. I just have the switch and the wires that have been extended. I can obviously give these a pull because we got extra behind the... Oh, they're getting caught up behind the toilet here. There we go. But yeah, I'll mount that switch up on the wall somewhere similar to this, and then run the wire into one of the battery banks, and then we'll be good to go. Good stuff. So just getting ready for future water storage. That way I'll be able to pump. What my plan is for the water storage, to have everything empty into this bottom container because it's lower. So gravity assist water is just going to be put into here, and then with my off-grid 12-volt pump, it will pump it up to the top tank, which then I use for gravity it'll be gravity pressure to the rest of the tiny house. So pretty cool stuff.